Commander, sorry I'm a little unfocused. Personal matter. It won't affect my duties.
Always have time for my crew. What is it?
As I said, it's a personal matter. I don't want to waste our time if it turns out to be a goose chase. But... well, I got pinged by a ghost the other night. Family.
I'm listening.
My private log got an update about the Hugo Gernsback, the ship my father served on. It sent an SOS last week, reporting a crash and requesting a rescue. Shepard, that ship went missing 10 years ago. I hadn't talked to my father for 3 years before that. I've buried everything but a body. I'm not convinced it isn't just some automated distress signal ticking over. It's been too long.
I'd think you'd be more excited that your father might be alive.
He wasn't around enough for me to have bad memories. It's an old, well-healed wound. But if he's actually alive and needs help, I also want to note that it's not normal procedure for distress calls to be routed to the Normandy. This was passed to my personal log through Cerberus filters.
Any signs that this was a Cerberus front? Who passed this to you?
I doubt the elusive man would let a direct operation stake hold this long. If there's a link, it's probably just about money. Cerberus needs diverse holdings to fund projects like, well, you. And whoever sent this my way covered their tracks. Someone could be fishing for favors, or thought it would get under my skin. Who knows with that bunch?
You didn't get along with your father?
He made no apologies, I'll give him that. You make a mistake, you own up to it, even if you keep making it. Whatever problems we had were a lifetime ago. I've had 10 years to get to where I am, and as far as I know, he's still a ghost.
Tell me about the Hugo Gernsback and what it was doing.
Privately held frigate. I looked over the mission brief when it disappeared. Nothing stood out. Typical research and grab operation. Find an uncharted planet, stake a claim, and establish as large a presence as you can as fast as possible to shut out competitors.
I think we can spare the time. Pass the coordinates to Joker.
I appreciate that, Commander. I don't expect more than dusty old bones, but it'll be good to close the record.
Signs, but there may be useful technology or information still inside.
There it is, and mostly intact. They could have survived impact, but it's been years. Looks like it was stripped after the crash. They'd have tried to get a beacon up as soon as possible.
Along with this anymore. We've done horrible things to the crew. The conditions they're in, they don't understand what we're doing to them. Distract them for 2 seconds and they forget what you did before the bruises show. It's got to stop. I'm talking to the others as soon as... She always said no. She even threatened to report if I didn't stop sending messages. But now she's so innocent. They all are. And the look she gives when she smiles. It's sure easier now. What's the harm? We're stuck here.
Expect the luxury of due process, but this isn't a military ship. Just bumping the command line up a notch doesn't work. Captain Fairchild knew this crew. His replacement doesn't command the same level of respect. I'm hoping the man has it in him, but I don't. What was her name? Sarah? Suzanne? My God, I can't remember. I can't remember her face. We need to get out. So I can remember, can think straight.
From the look of it, this beacon's been here a while. Why would they wait years to signal?
Pause in beacon protocol. 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours. Pause is recorded as record deleted by Acting Captain Ronald Taylor.
That's not right. My father was first officer.
Ronald Taylor was promoted under emergency command protocols. Other flagged issues: unsafe deceleration, local food and neural decay, beacon activation protocols.
Local food impairs brain functions? What are the effects?
Impairment of mental function due to chemical imbalance begins within 7 days of ingesting local flora, regardless of decontamination or preparation. Impact on higher cognitive abilities and long-term memory is cumulative, but significant within a standard month. It is not known if neural decay is permanent. Data collection was not completed.
Who is in command of this ship? Where are the survivors?
Captain Harris Fairchild reported killed following unscheduled suborbital descent. First Officer Ronald Taylor promoted in-field to acting captain.
But where is he now?
The location of the remaining crew of the Hugo Gernsback is unknown. This beacon has been unattended for several maintenance cycles.
I assume unsafe deceleration refers to the crash. Give me the details.
Following an unspecified impact and sublight drive failure, the Hugo Gernsback made an unscheduled descent at 465% of theoretical recommended suborbital velocity. The Hugo Gernsback then decelerated at 782% of theoretical recommended approach velocity, sustaining significant damage to investment and crew.
Why are you comparing the crash to theoretical speeds?
The Hugo Gernsback was constructed off-world. It is not rated for suborbital descent, and doing so exceeded operational parameters.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
This emergency beacon became functional after 358 days, 12 hours, following the unscheduled suborbital descent of the Hugo Gernsback. Activation was triggered remotely after 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours, on the authority of Acting Captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as record deleted.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
This emergency beacon became functional after 358 days, 12 hours, following the unscheduled suborbital descent of the Hugo Gernsback. Activation was triggered remotely after 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours, on the authority of Acting Captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as record deleted.
Come on, let's get going.
My father had a working beacon, but didn't signal for almost 9 years. Maybe that neural decay affected him.
It must have after so long.
You came from the sky? The leader said someone would come. He delayed for so long, but he still has power. Some have lost faith. The hunters. They will have seen your star. They will not let you help him.
What are you talking about? You're not making sense.
I don't remember how to say it. He's our leader and we serve so we can go home. But some want to fight him. They were cast out. He exiled them, so they hunt his machines and those who help him. They don't believe that rescue will come.
Watch out!
Hunters, they won't stop until the leader is dead.
Kill them! Agents of the liar! He will not escape!
They didn't have neural decay. They were insane.
My father wouldn't let this go on. Something is very wrong.
You killed them, but there are more every day. They want to fight, but I just want to go home.
She's lost it. We need to find someone who can make sense of this.
They're from the same group as the ones that attacked us, but these are docile.
There aren't any men here. Maybe it affects genders differently? Makes males get violent.
Possibly, but the female on the beach said the exiled ones came back as hunters.
It doesn't matter right now. One of these people must know what my father has to do with this.
You have his face. He promised to call the sky, but he sends nothing.
He forced us to eat, to decay. You are cursed with his face.
Not the best reaction to the family resemblance, Jacob.
Why would my father force his crew to eat toxic food? Whatever's happening here needs to stop. Look at these spoiled food stores. They've been eating only that toxic local food for who knows how long. Like that wasn't obvious enough.
You have his face, but you fight his machines. You might stop this. This, I forget how to read, but this was the start. What he promised, and what they did to us. We need the sky. Take us back to the sky.
Jacob, what does it say?
It's a crew logbook. Some of them thought the beacon repair was taking too long. They were afraid they'd run out of supplies and lose their minds to the decay. My father restricted the ship food for himself and the other officers so they wouldn't be affected. Everybody else had to eat the toxic food and hope for treatment later. The rest is a casualty list. A few mutinied over the decision. My father and his officers turned the mechs on them.
He wasn't command material and it got to him. Couldn't keep the crew in line without violence.
It didn't stop there. More incidents, harsh punishments. It's like they're cattle, or toys. In a year, all the male crew members are flagged as exiled or dead. They separated out the women, assigned them to officers, like pets. And after the beacon is fixed, the officers appear in the casualties too. After. My father took control and didn't stop it.
Anything in there about whether the effects of the toxic food can be treated?
Nothing. But it seems like the right call. If everyone gets it, who's left to fix the beacon? You'd never get out. But they did fix it. And the signal wasn't sent until now. I'm starting to see why.
Does it say why he separated the men and women? Or is it as bad as it seems?
No, it turns to gibberish. Maybe the men got violent early on, but from the state of this place, I'd say the Hunter thing is recent. What he allowed here, Shepard? I don't see any justification.
We haven't seen any other officers. He killed them?
There were 5 after the crash. Medical, engineering, bridge staff. Should have had no problem fixing the beacon and keeping people safe. All killed within the same week. About a month after the beacon was repaired.
Do you see an explanation for this? He's your father.
Is he? None of this fits. Maybe the initial decision, but the rest? Abuse of power doesn't get any clearer than this. I need to find this man.
You're here. I knew a real squad would blow through just fine. Sorry if the mech scuffed your pads. I'll get you something nice when we get back to Alliance space. I've gotta have some back pay coming.
What about your crew, acting captain?
Total loss. The toxic food turned them wild. They propped me up here in some kind of ritual behavior. Waiting for a chance to signal has been hell.
That's the best you can do?
You let all your people talk back like that? Who are you exactly?
Commander Shepard of the Normandy. I believe you are acquainted with Mr. Taylor.
Taylor? Jacob? No. Not Jacob.
Why not me? Would 10 years of this look better to anyone else in the galaxy?
You have to understand, this isn't me. The realities of command, they change you. I wasn't ready for that. I made sure you were taught right. Before I left, I hoped to leave it at that.
I'm not biting, Captain. At some point, you chose to do this to your crew. You.
What was that moment? I want to know that there was an actual reason.
There was resistance to the plan. Mutiny. We had to take a hard line to keep order. And things settled down. As the decay set in, we made sure the crew were comfortable. Some even seemed happier. Ignorance is bliss, right? And they were grateful for guidance, like an instinct. Pure authority was easy, at first. Months in, the effect lowered inhibitions. They got territorial. Rank, protocol, They couldn't understand. We had to establish dominance. After a while, the perks seemed normal.
That's it? You created a harem and played king? 10 years in a juvenile fantasy?
I can't point to where it all went wrong. But when the beacon was ready, revealing what happened didn't seem like a good idea.
What happened to the other officers?
Anders found his conscience a little late to step back. He had an accident. Things got tense. End of the day, I was the one with the mechs. I got a little basic in setting examples. But I was kind to my people once things settled down. Seemed like I'd earned some peace.
You fought over people like they were toys. Things.
The stores from the ship couldn't last forever. You had to know this would end one day.
Dining for one can really stretch things out. Besides, I can think of a lot worse retirement plans than stripping down and joining the droolers. That was before the hunters, of course. Dumb or not, I'd feel it if they got their hands on me now. They want blood. I'd prefer to keep it.
It's all about you. Everything.
You didn't feel any responsibility to get out of here for the sake of family?
I gave him a good start. He was a smart kid and was better off not following me. We figured that out a long time before I took jobs in deep space. And after things escalated here, it seemed best to just disappear off the galactic map.
Till you needed someone to save your ass.
What triggered the males to change and threaten you?
This planet has some strange cycles to it. I've seen some plants around I never saw before. Odd weather. Maybe some just adapted a little too well.
And if you treat them like animals, big shock. They become animals.
Can't say this wouldn't be a hell of a vacation, but you don't get to just walk away after all this time.
You're damn right he doesn't. What happened here, I should vent his head. But he's not even worth pulling the trigger. I don't know who you are, because you're not any father I remember.
I'm pretty sure we can spare the ammo.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm not taking the shot. My father owned his mistakes. He was a different man. A good man.
Half charged. You've seen the crazy ones. This won't stop them.
It's not for them, Dad.
Alliance ships are inbound to pick up survivors, Commander. We could be long gone by the time they get here.
Don't even give them the tail lights.
Roger that.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Jacob, if I had leaked the information about the Gernsback, I would be smiling at your resolution of the situation. I am not smiling.
Nothing goes through this ship, my ship, without a report to you.
I had no more reason to believe Jacob's father was alive than he did, but I'm happy to know the situation is behind you.
Fine. You didn't forward it, so who did?
I did. Was this supposed to be a favor, or did you just want to see him squirm?
What he did with it was his own business. There was a time when it mattered to you. Sending this along seemed like keeping an old promise. I keep my promises.
Miranda, we'll discuss your liberal interpretation of security protocol in private. Shepard, Jacob.
You good with this, Jacob?
It's all bull, Shepard. Captain Taylor's body has some catching up to do, but the man died a long time ago. I've already dealt with that. I guess he was a good enough father that even he can't screw up what he taught me.
You had no idea Miranda was behind this.
No, she's got a good memory. Selective, but good. I haven't thought about those days in a long time. Can't figure which promise she meant, though. Not sure I really want to know. She requires a better man than I.
Come on, we got work to do.
Aye, Commander. Shepard. Thanks for the help.
Anytime, Jacob.
Shepard, how can I help?
Have you got a minute to talk?
Yes, personal matters on mind, actually. Got call from nephew. Promising geneticist himself. Just turned 16, got tenure at university. Following in my footsteps. Had to lie about what I was doing. Think he was suspicious. Doesn't matter. Still good to hear his voice.
Does anyone in your family know about what you really did for the government?
No. No, I'm lying, but won't pry. Solarians curious as a people, but also have social cues. Keep two types of secrets from family. First type, personal or guilt-based. Invite suspicion, exploration, puzzle to be solved. Reward for curiosity, intelligence, drama. Other secrets, more serious. Dangerous if discovered. Signals discourage curiosity for protection of family.
Why wouldn't everyone give clues that their secrets were too dangerous to be uncovered?
Not conscious. Social, reflexive body language. Can't fake it. Example. Yawning perceived as contagious among humans. Subject observes yawn. Sensory input deactivates left periamygdalar region. Subject yawns in response. Social empathy. Also works with dogs. Solarian faking signals to discourage curiosity, similar to human faking a yawn. Can try, but effectiveness limited.
Are you calling him because you're worried we won't make it back?
No. Aware survival unlikely, but actually contacted him for family connection. Hard to imagine galaxy. Too many people, faceless. Statistics easy to depersonalize. Good when doing unpleasant work. For this fight, want personal connection. Can't anthropomorphize galaxy, but can think of favorite nephew. Fighting for him.
Your nephew got tenure at 16? Is he a genius or a scientific prodigy?
No, wait. Don't want to insult him. Yes, but not in manner you meant. Remember, Solarian lives short. Mature rapidly by your standards. Don't live much past 40.
I'm glad you got to talk to family before we finish this. And I'm glad we talked too, Morden.
Honored to be part of this, Shepard. Helped preserve Galaxy before with genophage. Dirty work. Ethically ambiguous. Problematic. Collector's mission simpler, cleaner. We'll be proud to see it in Morden's Solus biography vid. Unless we all die. Proud posthumously, in that case. Regardless. Thank you.
Thanks for diverting to the Gurns back, Shepard. I appreciate being able to clean up that mess. Maybe not the best way to learn about the relatives, but I'm glad it's done. What do you need?
I'm interested in getting to know you better.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
We'll talk later.
That stuff with Jacob's dad, it's bullshit, right? Because it looked like bullshit to me.
That's it for now.
Shepard,
Just checking in. How are you doing?
I'm branching out. Got a list of enemies now. They all give me joy when I picture cutting them, crushing them. There's this one imprint, a Solarian with the... what are they? The things on his head pulled apart? Bet it caused a generation of revenge. What is that, a few weeks for them? So what did you want?
Don't wear yourself out on someone else's memories. We've got our own bad guys to fight.
Your enemies are my enemies. We'll shove the Collector's claws where a dark sun can't shine, and they will deserve it. I won't disrespect their strengths by doing less than the worst to them.
That's the kind of thinking that will save a galaxy.
You make it possible, Shepard. You're my battle master. You give me purpose. That's what makes Krogan feared soldiers, and not animals. Lead well, Shepard. You have my respect.
Shepard.
Is there something wrong?
Yes. Now that you are here, though, it seems more difficult to talk about.
Are you feeling sick? I could get the doctor.
No. Though I suppose that is a part of it. My mortality has me dwelling on things. I had a family once. I still have a son. His name is Kolyat. I haven't seen him for a very long time.
How long's it been since you talked?
10 years. He showed me some of his schoolwork and asked if we could dance crazy. We did that when he was younger.
What sort of dance is that?
I checked my extranet contacts. I expect an update on my next target. The console plays music, old, unfashionable. Kolyat jumps into the room. My father runs around in circles. I scoop him up, toss him into the air. He shrieks, laughs, spin me. The console beeps. I put him down. Click the message. Father, he pleads, tugs my sleeve. I need to read this, I say. I don't look at him.
Did something happen to them?
I abandoned them. Oh, not all at once. Nothing dramatic, no sneaking out in the middle of the night, no final argument or slammed door. I just did my job. I hunted and killed across the galaxy. Away on business, my wife would tell people. I was always away on business.
You never mentioned this before. Why now?
When my wife departed from her body, I attended to that issue. I left Kolyat in the care of his aunts and uncles. I have not seen him or talked to him since.
That's not the choice I expected. Why didn't you raise him yourself?
My body is blessed with the skills to take life. The Hanar honed them in me. I have few others. I didn't want that life for Kolyat. I hoped he would find his own way. If he hated me, so be it. He would not have shared the path of sin. I used my contacts to trace Kolyat. He has become disconnected. He does what his body wills.
You'll have to explain that one to me.
Disconnected. The body is not our true self. The soul is. Body and soul work as one in a whole person. When the soul is weakened by despair or fear, when the body is ill or injured, the individual is disconnected, no longer whole.
What's wrong with him? Is he hurt?
Something happened that should not have. He knows where I've been, what I've done. I don't know his reasons, but he has gone to the Citadel. He's taken a job as a hitman. I would like your help to stop him. This is not a path he should walk.
You don't hire a raw rookie for a contract killing.
I'm afraid someone may have seen we share a name and assumed we share skills. I don't know why he would accept the task.
To be closer to you, maybe?
That thought haunts me more than any other.
Maybe he name-dropped you to get hired.
It's possible, but I don't think so. It doesn't seem right. My name. He should not respect it.
Thane, I don't have your contacts, and I don't have your tracking skills. Why do you need my help for this?
I don't need your help. I want it. The last time I saw my son, they wrapped her body in sea vines, weighted it with stones. He tries to pull from me, calls for her. The Hanar lift her off the platform. They sing like bells. The fire has gone to be kindled anew. He begs them not to take her away.
They let her body slide into the water. He hits me. Don't let them. Stop them. Why weren't you?
Rains. It always rains on Kaje. Warm water pours down his face.
I didn't mean to make you relive that.
Perfect memory. It is sometimes a burden.
What made him go to the Citadel?
Years ago, I prepared a package for him. A relic of my ill-spent life. I had Volus bankers store it and arranged for delivery when I died. He acquired it early. I don't really know how. I did wet work on the Citadel around the time his mother died. That may be why he went there.
I'll get us to the Citadel as soon as possible.
Thank you, Shepard. I'll be meditating until you need me.
Yes?
My associate's trying to find his son. We think a local criminal may have hired him.
That should be easy. We don't see many Drell here. There we go. One of my men reported a drill recently. And he was talking to Mouse. Interesting.
Mouse?
Ah, petty criminal. Probably not the guy who hired your boy, but a messenger. He's a former duct rat. Runs errands for anyone who'll pay.
What sort of trouble has Mouse been getting himself into?
Odd jobs for shifty people. Duct rats take whatever is available to get by. Data running, fencing stolen goods, selling illegal VI personalities. Actually, he was selling one of you.
Me?
Yeah, when you erased a file, it would say, I delete data like you on the way to real errors.
That's pretty extreme, Commander.
Laugh it up, Garrus.
Buggy, though. It crashed every half hour. The error message was about how the galaxy was at stake, and you should fix the problem yourself.
What was it you called Mouse?
A duct rat. It's a local slang for the poor kids who grow up in the station. When they're small, they tend to play in the ventilation ducts where adults can't get to them.
Aren't the ducts dangerous?
Every couple of months, we pull a little body out of them. Lacerated by fan blades, broken by a deadfall, suffocated by vacuum exposure. Those are just the ones we know about. More just disappear. Maybe they get sucked into space. Maybe they fall into the protein vats the keepers run. The Mouse survived long enough that he can't fit in the ducts anymore. He was one of the smarter ones, or the luckier ones.
I've heard enough.
Mouse is usually upstairs outside the Dark Star. He works out of a public comm terminal. You should pick up a copy of the Shepherd VI when you talk to him. It sounds like your boy's running with the wrong crowd.
Yes, I agree.
If Mouse can't get you in touch with your son directly, he'll know who can. I'll help you if you need it.
You don't know us, Captain. Why are you going so far to help us?
I've worked Zakera for 2 years. Every day kids turn to crime because they've got no other choice, because their parents don't care. You're trying to save yours.
He faces a dark path.
We better hurry then.
You didn't tell him that Kolyat plans to assassinate someone.
I also didn't tell him what you do for a living. Do you normally discuss assassinations with the police?
I take your point. Thank you, Shepard.
Yeah, sure. I can get you 2 cases by the end of the day.
You Mouse?
What do you... Oh, shit. Krios. I thought you retired. Commander Shepard? I thought you died. What do you want with me?
Be still, Mouse. You can change your pants in a moment.
How do you know Thane?
Krios? He didn't... If he didn't say nothing, I ain't either.
When we heard the name, I didn't think it could be the same Mouse. He was a contact on the Citadel when I was active. He and some other children would gather information on my targets.
You put children in danger to spy for you?
Children, the poor. My people's word for their kind is Dralafa, the ignored. They're everywhere, see everything, yet they are never seen. You gave another Drell instructions for an assassination. Who's the target?
I don't know. I didn't ask. Because the people I work for?
We don't have time for this.
God, Thane, help me.
Help me, Mouse. My son is out there, in the dark.
That's why I carried for him. I thought you'd want me to. Please.
Explain.
He came in, said he was looking for work. He had a hollow of me, the one you took, Krios. I put the word out. Use your old contacts. Elias wanted to hire him. Elias Kellum.
Tell me about Kellum.
Human. Moved to the Citadel about 10 years ago. He was little people when you were here, Krios. He got big after the Geth attack. Lots of the big guys from before got cacked, all in them big fancy apartments up on the Presidium. Now he runs the rackets on the lower end of the ward, Shin Akiba. He's seriously bad news.
One other thing. That Shepherd VI you're selling?
Oh shit, you heard? Look, you were dead. It was totally legal to make a VI of you.
Give me a copy and we'll call it even.
What? I mean, sure, yeah, absolutely. Sorry about the whole... Just so you know, there's 3 Volas who are patching it all the time.
I didn't want to do that, Mouse. We just don't have much time.
Just go away, man.
Mouse, I'm sorry too.
Just go.
That couldn't have been easy.
Mouse knew more about my life than Kolyat ever did. He smiles up at me, broken teeth and scabby knees, bare feet black, a dead-end future looking up at me, worshipping the petty gifts I offer. I was the only good thing he had back then, but I left him as I left Kolyat.
Mouse said you had a hollow of him.
Yes. A foolish bit of sentimentality. I can perfectly recall every moment I spent with Mouse. He pulls at my arm, smiles. He wants to know that I'll remember him, that anyone will remember him. I take the hollow. He smiles at himself in miniature on my palm. Then a frown crinkles his brow. He pats my pockets, checking for other hollows. Where's your son, Krios? He asks.
Don't blame yourself.
If I don't, who will? We must carry the weight of our decisions, Shepard. You, of all people, know this.
Let's head back to Bailey.
Yes?
Can we talk about my associate's son?
You talked to Mouse? Did you get the name of the guy he's working with?
Elias Kellum.
Kellum. Shit. Look, this is awkward. Kellum and I have an agreement. He doesn't cause too much trouble and buys tickets to the C-Sec charity ball from me. In return, I ignore him.
You want to accept bribes? Fine. I don't care how you run your precinct. I want to know if you're gonna help me.
Yeah, I'll help. Absolutely. I'll get some of my people to bring him in and set him up in a private room. You can interrogate him yourself. I'll stay out of sight. And if I'm lucky, Kellum will believe that I had nothing to do with it.
Bring him in. We might not have much time.
I'll make it happen. Wait here.
We've got Kellum. Tell Bailey we're ready.
He'll expect me to get him out of this.
Not today, I think.
Captain, his lawyer's here. Bet Elias has his VI set to page him if C-Sec gets within 10 meters.
I'll stall him. Get in there and work fast.
We should question him together. Keep the pressure on. Thoughts on how we approach it?
You talk to him. Appeal to his self-interest. I'll put the screws to him if he needs it.
Very well. I'll pretend to be on his side. But if we waste too much time negotiating, Bailey won't be able to stall Kellum's advocate.
Get me out of these restraints, Bailey. Pretty funny bringing me down here like this. What the hell are you two?
You ordered a hit on someone. You're gonna tell me who.
The only person I'm talking to is my advocate.
Here's how it works. I ask a question, you answer the question. You speak when you're spoken to.
Who the fuck you
Mr.
think?
Kellum, I don't believe you were paying attention.
Nice. You just handed me your job. Hit me again and I'll take your money too. I'm gonna straighten you out as soon as Bailey gets here.
Just tell us what we need to know. My associate isn't very patient.
What are you, frog boy? A little sidekick? What, kid? You gonna bore me into confessing? You ain't shit.
Works for me.
No! Do you know what I'll do to you when I get out of here?
Keep it up, tough guy. You'll leave in a bag.
Go to hell.
He's up. He's no use to us dead.
Are we done here? Because I got people to see.
I'm done being patient. Give me a name or I'll cut your balls off and sell them to a Krogan.
Joram! Joram Talid! Dorian in the 800 blocks.
He's unconscious. No need to wake him up, I think.
I'm not shedding any tears. Not over the likes of him.
I'd hope to avoid unnecessary bloodshed. Pure results come from pure methods. I worry about what is yet to come.
What's the story? Why'd Kellum hire the boy?
Assassination. A Turian named Joram Talid. You know him?
Joram? Yeah. You might have seen his posters around. He's promising to end organized crime on the ward. Thing is, his message is all mixed up in race politics. He's anti-human.
Are things so bad that people can openly campaign as anti-human?
You haven't heard what the aliens have been saying? They think the council died because our fleet refused to save them. That we stacked the new council with humans and yes-men. Udina doesn't take any crap from them, but that seems to make it worse. They act like we're jackbooted thugs enforcing a coup.
If a majority votes for him, like it or not, that's how the system works.
That's a nice ideal, Shepard. Sergeant, get a patrol car. These two need to get to the 800 blocks.
Yes, sir.
There he is. How do you want to play this?
Follow Talid on the maintenance catwalks. Tell me what he's doing. The Krogan bodyguard will make him easy to follow.
Where will you be?
The darkest corner with the best view. Amon Kira, Lord of Hunters. Grant that my hands be steady, my aim be true, and my feet swift. And should the worst come to pass, grant me forgiveness.
Hey, who are you?
I don't have time for this. Thane.
I saw.
He's heading to Talid's apartment.
Call yet?
This is a joke. Now you show up. Help me, Drell. I'll do whatever you want.
C-Sec. Put the gun down, son.
Get out of my way. I'm walking out. He's coming with me.
They'll have snipers outside.
I don't need... What the hell?
Talid, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I will.
Take the boy into custody.
You son of a bitch!
Your father doesn't have much time left, Koliat. He's trying to make up for his mistakes.
What? So you came to get my forgiveness? So you can die in peace or something?
I came to grant you peace. You're angry because I wasn't there when your mother died.
You weren't there when she was alive. Why should you be there when she died?
Your mother. They killed her to get to me. It was my fault.
What?
After her body was given to the Deep, I went to find them. The Triggermen, the ringleaders. I hurt them, eventually killed them. When I went back to see you, you were older. I should have stayed with you.
I guess it's too bad for me you waited so long, huh?
Koliat, I've taken many bad things out of the world. You're the only good thing I ever added to it.
This isn't a conversation you should have in front of strangers. Boys, take Koliat and his father back to the precinct. Give them a room and as much time as they need.
I'm surprised you're letting him do that.
You think he's the only man who ever screwed up raising a son? I have to get back to the precinct. Come on, I'll give you a lift.
They've been in there a while.
The kid's been through a lot. I ran some searches in the CSEC archive. About 10 years back, a bunch of real bad people were killed. Like someone was cleaning house. The prime suspect was a Drell. We never caught him.
10 years is a long time. Whoever was responsible for that probably doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I guess you're right about that.
How'd it go?
Our problems they aren't something I can fix with a few words. We'll keep talking, see what happens.
Your boy shot some people. No one I feel sympathy for, but there it is.
I watched those guys shaking down businesses and threatening humans.
But he can't just get away with it.
The kid wants to make a difference. Give him community service.
Community service for attempted murder? What jury would agree to that?
None that I've seen. This would need to stay out of the judiciary. Strictly within CSEC.
Interesting. I'll think about it.
Thank you, Captain.
Commander, can I help you with something?
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Sounds good. I could use some downtime. There's always something, right? The way some people talk, we may as well be dead already. Hard for the crew to relax on this kind of job.
No kidding. The next Normandy gets a lounge.
They better not need to do this again. Rebuilding everything was a pain in the ass.
I can verify that.
Yeah, I bet you can. I doubt they'll front the money to stitch me back together if we screw it up. It's a hell of a job, isn't it, Shepard? Being the good guys.
Wouldn't be the high road if it was easy.
You've got to figure, if all the people hoping we win stood up, the collectors would have a much bigger fight on their hands. Claws, whatever. I bet we have a lot more friends once we win. Hope we live to see it.
I hear that.
Anyway, I need to get back to work. Good talking to you.
That Kasumi is an interesting addition to the crew. I can see why she's good at her work. She never reveals anything meaningful about herself. It's all on the surface. It'll be a challenge getting to know who she really is. Anyway, what's up?
That'll be all.
Hey, Shepard. The word is that Garrus really likes you. I can never tell with Turians. I think you should go for it. A lot of people want to see you two together. My heart goes out to Miranda and her sister. That's a rough situation. Jacob deserves better than a father like that. I probably would have wanted to shoot him too.
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
If you wish.
The last time we talked, you started speaking about a past event as if you were watching it.
Drell have perfect memories. We can relive any moment in our lives with perfect clarity. It's difficult to control at times. Some of us disappear into, let's call it solipsism.
What do you mean, solipsism?
When a memory feels as real as life, it's as valid as life. Thinking about a moment brings back the smell of cut grass, the warmth of another's hand on yours, the taste of another's tongue in your mouth. Wouldn't you rather lose yourself in such a memory than spend the night alone, staring at walls of metal and plastic?
Isn't there a risk that you could lose yourself in bad memories as well?
Of course. Remembering the times I've taken bullets is unpleasant. But I can look at my knee and see it's not shattered. The memories that are hard to escape are those of despair.
You can remember everything that happened in your life?
Nearly. I expect if we remembered the birth trauma, we'd never recover from it.
You can relive every assassination you've ever made?
In perfect detail. Every mistake I made. Every target's last breath.
That sounds difficult. At any moment, you could relive the guilt.
Guilt? No. I've never felt any particular guilt about my contracts. My employers killed them. My body was only the tool they used. If you kill a man with your gun, do you hold the gun responsible?
My gun can't decide right from wrong. You clearly do.
My soul does. But my body is merely flesh. Flesh whose reflexes were honed to kill. Drell minds are different from humans. We see our body as a vessel, and accept that it is not always under our control.
So you don't assume any responsibility for the things you do?
Not every action performed by my body is a result of conscious choices. I take responsibility for those that are. Humans often believe in a soul distinct from the body. A spirit responsible for moral reasoning that lives on after the body's death. Our belief is just a bit more literal.
The last time we talked, you remembered one of your assassinations. Something about sunset-colored eyes?
That time. Laser dot trembles on the skull. Spice on the spring wind. Sunset eyes, defiant in the scope. A bystander noticed my spotting laser and threw herself between me and the target. She couldn't see me, but she stared me down.
It was odd that you just blurted that out. Just another vivid Drell memory?
No. She was a vivid person.
Did you take the shot?
Not that day.
The last time we talked, you remembered one of your assassinations. Something about sunset-colored eyes?
That time. Laser dot trembles on the skull. Spice on a bystander noticed my spotting laser and threw herself between me and the target. She couldn't see me, but she stared me down.
It was odd that you just blurted that out.
No. She was a vivid person.
Did you take the shot?
Not that day.
I should get back to my duties.
Shepard, I appreciate these chats we have.
You've spent a lot of your life alone, Thane.
Work fulfilled me. Reading. I barely spoke to anyone outside my family. It seems there will be no one to mourn me when I die. You're the only friend I've made in 10 years.
This crew is pretty diverse. You must have something in common with some of them. Get out of this room and talk to them.
I shall consider it.